Join the team.
Hey team, this is McGuire Review, and today we're going to be talking about D100 Dungeon, the Companion Guide. Now, we have done a video on D100, and if you want to check that out, you can hit the information link there and check out that video. So this one, we're not going to get into a lot of the rules or how to play D100 Dungeon. It's a very simple, soloable type of game. This new D100 Dungeon Companion Guide gives us the way to do group play as well. The Adventure Companion gives us, which is awesome, by Martin Knight. He is rocking this stuff. So again, if you want to check out the original D100 Dungeon video that we did, go check that out. That's going to tell you about all the stuff that we have on the table. I will do just a quick run through. You know, again, you will have your monster combat sheets, and this is really the type of game that you're going to do pen and paper. A lot of these things that you see on the table right now are not required to be able to play this game. Literally all you need are the books and a pencil and some dice and the printouts of the different type of combat sheets, and that's really it. All these other things that you see are things that I have used to kind of enhance the game, enhance the experience. And I think it's just, you know, a little more fun to add in these various different things. So I've got some nicer dice and some, you know, old school D&D miniatures. There are a couple little Pathfinder miniatures up here as well. I do use colored pencils to draw my dungeon, and you can see an example of a dungeon. I went with this one because I felt like this was one of the quests that really played out quite a bit and had 3 full sheets, an A, B, and a C sheet. And you can see all the different colors, and I use different colored pencils to draw those different types of rooms. And then I do have Jasko Etherblade here, my character. So let's talk about the D100 Dungeon Adventures Companion. Martin Knight on this one again. He's doing some phenomenal work. This is the hardback version of the game, or the companion there. You can get a softback version as well. You can also get a PDF. And you do need more than just the Adventures Companion, what's in here, to play the game. So don't get confused and think this is like D100 Dungeon 2, and you can just buy this book and you're going to have all the tables that you need, the tables that are going to run the types of monsters, the encounters, the loot, the quests, all those type of things you'll be experiencing as you play this. You will need this as well as the regular D100 Dungeon. So again, you can get these in either PDF form, however you like to. I definitely like the PDF versions of these. I have D100 Dungeon as a PDF, and I'll use that on my iPad. I find it very quick to go right to the tables that I need, right to the various different pages. However, I do like the Adventures Companion in this book form. Where I may get this in the PDF as well, just for ease of travel. But I like that you have different ways and different options of being able to get the content in these books. Now, I know that it's not going to show up on camera very well, so I'll talk through what you're going to get new in this, and then we're going to bring the video in and do some overhead. Bear, why don't you just go ahead and load up that overhead camera. We'll be able to see what we're going through here. So as you go through this book, you're going to find, just like you did with D100, some awesome, awesome artwork. Some of it is black and white. Some of it is color artwork. As you can see right there, there's some nice color artwork. And you'll see that kind of spread across the book. So what are the big things that are different? We'll kind of go through each one of those components here quickly. This is going to offer a way for you to convert any of your characters that you've been playing with so far into this new version for the expansion. And there's a very simple couple pages here, a few steps you'll go through to be able to convert those characters over so you can use them with the quest system that's in this book. And that's the new big thing that the companion, the Adventures Companion, brings to us, is a full campaign questing as well as group play. Absolutely phenomenal. There's a lot of other little things as well that are new here, but those are the 2 really big ones. We'll also see here an Adventurer's Fast Track option. So if you need to start a new character, is a way to kind of set up those new characters really quickly. So you can convert or start a new character. We've got party play in D100. So if you want to play with more than one adventurer, there's quite a few things that are going to change, mainly when it gets to combat. That's really the thing that's very different here, where how each one of those characters will handle combat, handle looting, things from that perspective. You will be moving through the dungeon together. You will be working on that quest together. However, when you do go into combat, it is a little bit more of an individual type thing. And those rules are explained right here in the book. And you can see each time it introduces something new, there's just simply a couple pages to go through that, and then you're up and running and ready to go. Okay, another awesome piece of artwork here. Looks like some form of like a giant werewolf type beast. Very, very cool. All right, so let's go into the next thing that we have here, which are new monsters. So there's a bunch of new monsters in this one, as well as new monster abilities. Now, I do have my handy dandy printouts, and a lot of these things you can get right off of Martin Knight's website, which I suggest you do. You download the PDFs, you buy the books, you go on Martin's website, and he has links to all these different, you know, items that you're going to need to print off. I did print mine at a much smaller resolution and size just for travel, so I've got my monster ability sheet here, which I do have to update for the new monster abilities that are here in this one, and I probably will be lazy and just write them on the back versus going and printing this off again. And then we've got also the handy dandy sheet here that goes over the roles when you're going to be doing some combat and what the combat escaping and turns orders look like, and that's all that information is right here. Pretty much everything on this sheet you're probably going to memorize as you're playing, but it's just a nice reference, especially if you have new players. And I find myself always going back to my monster ability sheet to see all the different abilities that are there. So you can see as you play the game and you absorb information out of these books, you can definitely make your own notes, print them off, have little reference sheets for yourself, and that makes it travel even better as well, because then you don't necessarily need the actual book. You've got most of the rules right on your reference sheets. So new monsters, new monster abilities. We also have new hero paths and new races. You'll know from the regular D100 dungeon, it was pretty limited from a hero type as well as race. And here we now have hero paths that you can go on, where you can be a knight, a paladin, an assassin, a scoundrel, a warlock, a druid, a barbarian, a hunter, or an arcane wizard. Yes! All right, and then we got new races: halfling, half-elf, half-giant, high elf, and mountain dwarf. And those are just the new races on top of what would already have been there. We also have a brand new crafting system, which I think is awesome. It's called Witchery, and it is a new phase in your turn where you will have the ability to try to take various monster parts and things that you find as you're questing and brew them together and get yourself, potions and special buffs that you can make. So now there's something that we can do with all of these animal parts we've been collecting, more than just taking them back to town and trying to sell them for gold. We now can turn them into various different potions and buffs, which is a pretty awesome thing. I am extremely excited to see the crafting system put in here, because that definitely was one of my suggestions from the D100 first video that we did here on the channel. And I don't know if he already had this in the works and I just also had an idea, or if this kind of helps sort of engage him to put this type of crafting system in the game. Regardless, the crafting system is here, and that's all that's important, is we do now have it. And there's some new tables that go directly with that witchery of the different things that you can actually make. Now there's also some quest builder tables, and we've got our standard encounter modifiers, quest descriptions, quest rewards. We've got some various different skills and their uses and some updates for that. There's also a new thing called Death Kill, which I thought was a nice little addition. I was surprised on this one because I thought, it really wasn't something that absolutely needed to be there, but it's a nice touch, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So whenever you get a big crit on a kill, let's say you take a monster out, and it's like well past what you need to take the monster out. Let's say it's 10 points more, 15 points more, just those huge critical strikes. This Death Kill new mechanic is what gives you a bonus for that. So you'll just go here and you'll see, well, where was that critical hit? Where did it land? Was it on the head, the back, torso, arms, right? Based on our initial sheet that we had with D100. And then you'll go to a bonus table here. Based on where it hit and how much you went over the amount needed, you get a bonus to your roll on whatever table you're getting for what you're taking out. So if you get to go to the weapons table or the items table, you might get a +5 or a +10 or +15 to that roll to get a better item. There's also a really cool death kill description for whatever you kill. And I'll just read one here to give you a flavor. The impact ruptures blood vessels in the brain. The monster slumps forward and it's easily defeated. So it just gives you sort of a little flavor text on exactly how that particular monster dies, which I thought was a nice little touch. Now let's get into what really is
what I like to call meat and potatoes
of this Adventures Companion book, and that is the quest system, the campaign that's built into this one. So if you're a player of D100, you'll know that you go on a set of random quests, and there is a very, very small description on what that quest is about, right? You're supposed to defeat a monster for a certain level, or you're supposed to collect a certain number of items before you can come back to town. Well, what the campaign quest does is it takes it so much further, and it wraps an entire story around what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish. And there's this whole new Northreach map here that they have. It's a really nice, I really think this map is very, very cool. I'd love to be able to get this map like printed on a piece of cloth or something. Very cool map that you'll go through. And there's a full questing system. And you'll see this from the overhead video right down here that actually tracks out sort of a path for you to go on. And that will be your actual quest, and there is 20 of those quests within the campaign. And then you'll see these other ones here in different colors, and there's 25 of those as well. And those are side quests. So now, if you think about it from a content perspective, not only do you have all of the individual quests from D100, your original 100, but you also have these 20 quests for an expansive campaign with a full story. We'll show that here in a second. And you have 25 new side quests that have their own kind of backstory that you're trying to accomplish as well. So very, very awesome. So cool to see this get built out that much further, you know, on to what was already there. Because, you know, when I played D100, I actually kept this little book here. And what I would do is I would keep notes on the results of each one of my quests and what I did, and sort of kind of create my own little story as I was going along, my own quote-unquote campaign and story, where I think Martin's done a great job creating that here now with the campaign questing that you can do. Now, I'm not going to get into what the quest is about because I don't want to spoil that for anybody, but I will tell you the name of it is The Goblin and the Goblet. That is the overarching story for this campaign, and it's going to give you a really nice description of what Northreach is about. It's going to kind of cue up that campaign for you, tell you about a little bit of the universe, and then it's going to start to get in to that quest. It's going to lay out how you would play that campaign, and then it's going to get into each one of the quests, exactly what the backstory is, exactly what you have to do to complete that quest. And then you can follow that storyline along as you go through it. Very, very awesome. The only other thing you will find in the back of this book are the new tables that you need. And this is why I made a point in the beginning. It's very important. If you do want to play this system, you are going to need to have the D100, regular D100, you know, PDF or book version 2. And then you're going to need to pick up the D100 Dungeon, the Adventures Companion, if you want all of this. This is really going to add that extra stuff we've gone over. It's going to add the campaigning section. It's going to add being able to play with friends. But if you just want to try D100 and start with just simple dungeon crawls and quests, just standard D100 is a great experience as well. And maybe you want to start there. But for the price point, you're talking about under $25 if you get the PDF version of both of these for the whole setup. For that kind of money, for the amount of content that you have here and how rich this experience is, especially from a solo perspective, how well it travels, for me, team, it's a no-brainer. Go out, get you D100, get the Adventures Companion. Trust me, you're going to have a great time. All right, so that is D100 Dungeon, the Adventures Companion by Martin Knight. So hit that like, click the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time. Bear, let's roll.